By the way, I have a tight out tonight. Look out. That sounded a little something. You have a what? Because my girlfriend's son got engaged, and we are having a celebratory dinner tonight. We're gonna go to dinner, and so I've got to go put on a shirt and tie at some point. I may even have to jump at this like early. I might have to get dressed right in front of you guys. I'm not afraid. I'll do it. Get used to the idea. It's fancy pants. A tight out. That's right. A tight out for a night out. Look out. Okay. Hey, remember this guy? Remember this guy who used to be like Trump's personal gadfly, who was just like running interference for everything that he does, and you know, Trump's the man, and finally leadership. This guy used to be Ted Cruz's chief of staff, and now he's running for, I think, Attorney General of Texas. And because he knows he's probably going to lose his seat, because this redistricting, as much as they've been trying to balance it so that it benefits Republicans, there's no fucking way Austin in the area that he represents doesn't go Democratic unless they manipulate the whole thing, and it fucks up his base, the Freedom Caucasians that kept him in that spot. So we shall see what we shall see. But he goes, this is titled, "We Took Our Eye Off the Ball." Chip Roy explains what poses imminent threat to Americans. I'm going to guess it's fishing boats full of cocaine.
The Trump administration is taking the war on cartels to a whole new level.
No, he isn't. No. Citation needed. Shooting boats out of the water when you have no evidence who the people that are in them, what they're carrying. You don't have any. I mean, you might as well be like Roswell holding up tinfoil. That would be more believable than this. Sinking a fucking boat that people are speeding along. I don't give a shit. Even if refugees were trying to get the fuck out of Venezuela, they could get blown out of the water. So no, they're not taking it to a new level, except that he has announced that he has the right to be technically in armed conflict because they are enemy combatants. This is Trump sent a letter to the Congress basically declaring war on specifically South American, but drug cartels.
Trump.
Also, by the way, I don't know why this wouldn't automatically lead to you being able to bomb places inside China.
Declaring drug cartels to be unlawful combatants, and says the U.S. is now engaged in formal armed conflict.
Yeah, the peace president. You know, who'd have thought he'd come in there and declare the place the Department of War, and then launch fucking declare a war on a whole new group of ISIS people
with the cartels. This after recent strikes on what the administration says were drug smuggling vessels in the Caribbean.
Yes, what the administration says were, as in they don't exist anymore because they were blown out of the water.
In a memo to Congress obtained by Fox, the administration writes, "The United States has now reached a critical point where we must use force in self-defense and defense of others against the ongoing attacks by these designated terrorist organizations." By the way,
who designated them terrorist organizations? Again, they act like it was an external thing. These are terrorist organizations. Like fucking Homan says this. Kristi Noem says this. Fucking they're all reiterating this talking point as if some sort of international body or the UN declared drug cartels terrorist groups, and we're just following what their lead. Trump declared them that. You have to add that part. Like, Congress didn't pass a law declaring war on drug cartels because they are, I don't know, like a foreign national system, that an extra state, like the caliphate, that the cartel areas are the the same legally as the ISIS caliphate. They are not part of Iraq and Syria and those areas. They are effectively their own nation state overlaid on other nation states, and therefore we can declare war on them as if they have, uniformed soldiers. Congress didn't do that. Trump did that unilaterally. And every time they repeat this on these fucking news programs, it drives me apeshit. This like declared, what was the phrase exactly? Designated terrorist organizations. Designated by Trump in an executive order. That doesn't automatically make them terrorists. And the idea also that they're terrorists is like most of the time, any quote unquote terrorism like behavior these guys engage in is usually against other gangs for turf. Our turf. Our little piece of turf. Right.
Self-defense and defense of others against the ongoing attacks by these designated terrorist organizations.
Also, ongoing attacks. What they mean is selling narcotics into the country. That's a designated attack.
The U.S. has already carried out 3 deadly strikes on alleged drug smuggling boats, including 2 vessels
Alleged.
originating from Venezuela over the past month. Joining me here in Dallas is Texas Congressman.
By the way, allegedly coming from Venezuela. Stop it. Like, I see a boat in the fucking water. I'm not taking for granted where it is in the world at this point. Like, how do we even know this footage is from the waters around Venezuela at all?
And Texas Attorney General candidate Chip Roy. Congressman.
I'm dead inside. It's nice to be here. I'm on my goodbye soul tour.
Thanks for being with us here.
Well, good to be on.
What does it mean? What does it mean to take armed conflict to the cartels?
Well, in 2019, when I was a first-year member of Congress, I introduced legislation to designate cartels as terrorist organizations. I was the first to do that, worked hard for 5 years to get it there, and God bless President Trump for being willing to do it right out of the gate in an executive order. And now, in his memo to Congress, making clear that they're serious about it, and we've seen it now in numerous engagements.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Sorry. You don't get to, because you're seeing a ship blow up in the water someplace. None of us have any responsibility to jump to the details about said explosion are true. That's just fucking dumb. And this idea that, like, especially the Freedom Caucasians and all these, like, we need to have guns against a tyrannical government, are telling everybody, buy the extrajudicial bombing of these fucking boats, hook, line, and sinker, is horseshit. No.
With these boats that are full of narcotics that are coming to this country. And as you know all too well...
No, they're not. No, they're not. You have no evidence they're coming to this country. You have no evidence where they fucking are.
As a Texan, killing our loved ones, killing people that we know, dangerous fentanyl. But by the way, it's not just fentanyl, which has become pretty notorious in the last several years.
It's by and large not fentanyl at all.
But actually cocaine is now almost doubled in terms of production. It is now at a level that we haven't seen since the 80s. In fact, it's far more than that.
And yet, okay, so run this by me again. Explain to me, dipshit. Someone clear this up. In chat room, maybe you guys can help me work this out, because I got to tell you, it's a little infuriating. So explain to me how the border, the Biden unsecure border, the open borders, allowed a flood of drugs into the country. And now Donald Trump comes in, shuts the border down. The border is closed. And yet, the cost and availability of fentanyl is unmoved. It is equally as available as it was before 0 people came across the fucking border. And cocaine is up. It is more available. More of it is getting in the country. So you shut down, maybe, I mean, check me on this, maybe it was never a border issue. Maybe that, you know, you can talk all you want about illegal immigrants and people working under the table and undocumented people and the depression of wages because people sneak across and do fucking roofing and work on farms and shit like that. But maybe, just maybe, the vast majority of the drugs in this country come in through the ports and have people within those systems helping to get those drugs out of giant shipping containers or snuck in on boats around fucking Florida like they have been since fucking Miami Vice.
You know why? Because we took our eye off the ball. We were looking at the war on terror on the other side of the globe. We were leaving our border wide open, particularly in the last 5 years. And now in the Western Hemisphere, that stuff is running amok.
No, asshole. If shutting the border didn't lower the amount of drugs that are in the country, it had nothing to do with the border in the first place.
The president now knows that. They're now seeing the result of the Biden administration all these years. So
no, they're not. What do you think? They were storing it up for a rainy fucking day? You think they've been sitting on a big pile of coke since last year? What do you think? Supplies are getting low?
They're taking, to answer your question, the war to the terrorists using enhanced tools. And we can use stuff.
Enhanced tools? What? Satellite imagery and blowing up a fucking boat with a... Again, these are fucking speedboats and fishing boats. Stop acting like it requires fucking Reaper drones.
Up here on this side, and from a legal background, we now have greater prosecutorial tools. We can now go after, with material support for terrorists, the financial networks, but then also...
The financial networks. You mean like Deutsche Bank?
So when you're prosecuting them, you can actually get higher sentences. But in terms of engagement overseas, he's right to take it directly to them.
What do you anticipate that means? You described very well for us the need, the problem, and some of the tools that we do have at our disposal. But this news today and this memo to Congress seems to indicate that there is something new, that this is a next...
Yeah. It's new. The peace president is reporting for duty. And I have to say, I do mean duty.
Step forward against the cartels, another step in this war. And I have to wonder, does that mean troops in Mexico? Does that mean special forces attacking the cartels? Does that mean drones over Mexican air? What does it mean?
Well, yeah, if you're not a pussy, right, Chip?
Well, certainly I think what it means is targeting the cartels with whatever it takes to stop them from killing Americans. Now...
Okay, so troops on the ground, bunker busters, I guess, on their facilities in the jungles of South America, right? Why wouldn't you send drone swarms in as targeting, knocking out any kind of like lookouts they have around the area, and then hit them with a bunker buster, right? This is a war. If you're blowing a fucking boat up out of the water, sight unfucking seen, why not? Could it possibly be that you're full of shit?
Obviously, the president in his engagement with Congress has to work with us in terms of the use of...
Does he? Really? He has to work with you? What are you going to do? Stop him?
The authorization of the use of military force. He has a great deal of power as commander-in-chief, should have that power to go stop any imminent threat to America.
Any imminent threat that he decides is an imminent threat.
Citizens. And a lot of this activity actually poses an imminent threat to American citizens.
A lot of it? How much? What do you think? 40, 60, 40, 70, 30, 50, 50?
So yes, however they're going to use the technology, drones and other things. But importantly...
Yes, however they're going to use them. I think they're going to use them to kill people extrajudicially, without any proof that they are members of drug cartels, or that they're not just, like, again, refugees trying to get out of an area, because the roads are closed.
It's a message.
No, it isn't. It's a murder.
Discount the importance of the message to the leaders in South America, the message to the leaders in Mexico, the Northern Triangle, the message to the cartels themselves, that this president is serious, taking out those boats. Like, it's not just about those boats.
It kind of is.
It's sending a message to them that if we're going to have their business model built on something that is killing Americans, Donald J. Trump is not going to take that lightly, and he is right to take it on, and God bless him for it. He's doing a masterful job in sending that message to the world.
It will be fast.
How? If you're doing a masterful job, one would think that you would capture these guys, I suppose, and take all their drugs off the boat, show them, destroy them, right? Cut the bags open, dump them into the sea, I suppose, and then put the guys back in the boat and go, hey guys, go back to fucking Venezuela or we're going to shoot you out of the water. And then if they come back or they try anything else, then you do what they did there. Other than that, you're just blowing up fishing boats as far as the world is concerned, and you're a fucking nutcase. And the other thing is again, these are like these boats. I think one of them was going to Trinidad, they said, or Haiti, shit like that. They're not coming to the United States on fucking speedboats from Venezuela.
Interesting to see how that message is received, not just by the cartels, but as you point out, by, for example, the leader of Mexico. All right, Congressman, I hope you stay
Claudia Scheinbaum.
Right here, because we need to talk about the government shutdown and the battle on Capitol Hill. All right, as Democrats waste your time keeping the government closed, President...
Yes, wasting your time keeping the government closed. By the way, and you're going to get up and walk around while your guest is over there. Is Is that how boring the news is on Fox News? That you got to get up and, hey, follow me over here for a second. I'm going to see. Well, let's go to the map, shall we?
Trump is wasting no time cutting the red tape. President Trump posting today, I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame.
Right. Remember how it wasn't about Project 2025? That wasn't a thing, and Trump disavowed it? Remember that? Remember how we were going, yeah, Project 2025, he's basically, all of his executive orders are him just signing pages of Project 2025? Yeah.
Determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are a political scam, he recommends to be cut and whether or not those cuts will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity.
Yeah, do yourself a favor, buddy. Cut the programs and see how the red states squeal. The irony, especially under the Biden administration, that so much of the support went to Republican states, to red districts that were hurting, especially post-COVID, because a lot of people didn't get vaccinated or avoided treatment or fucking sucking horse paste down because Joe Rogan told them to, that they ended up dying and businesses collapsed, stores shut down. There's like a devastation that rolled across. The death rate, in the early part was in blue states because of the density of the population. But the the second wave, and especially through Delta, was all red states. The death toll really came there, and they were really reeling from it. And so Biden comes in, president for everybody, and sends a lot of help to these states. And then what happens? Trump's going to come in and cut programs that were helping these people get back on their fucking feet?